Hello and welcome to our 22nd annual MS Benefit Christmas Concert. My name is Kris Albert. I'm the horn player with QuintEssentially Brass, and we are so happy that you're able to join us today as we listen and enjoy this music that we were able to put down for you and record using and being able to watch it using the internet. Who knew a year ago that our 22nd anniversary concert would be virtual? We had no idea. We've always had our concert on the last Friday before Christmas, and this year is no exception. So we're glad you have kept the tradition with us, and you're here to join us for this very special MS Benefit Christmas concert by QuintEssentially Brass. So at this point, you might as well get yourself a comfy chair, sit back, relax, and enjoy our MS Benefit concert. Thanks for being here.
Hello, I'm Jeff Davis, and I'm the tuba player with QuintEssentially Brass. You know, the last couple weeks I've just been sad, I've been disappointed, I've been frustrated, I've been resigned, and I think it's a emotional morass that many of us are experiencing. I've been sad because I'm not able to be live with my friends performing with you tonight. I'm disappointed because we look forward to this every year. I'm frustrated because it seems like just about the time we make a turn, the COVID comes back. And I'm resigned to accept what's happening because I can't change anything. But you know, as I thought about this, I thought 2,000 years ago, a young couple, pregnant, took a journey at the command of the invading army and took a journey to a town where they found no room in the inn. And yet the angels sang, God's glory shone. And so that's the backdrop for the next song we're going to play for you. My absolute favorite song that got me out of my sadness and turned it into joy. Got me out of my frustration and moved me into movement. Got me out of my disappointment and gave me some enthusiasm. It's a song called Rejoice and Be Merry. It's my absolute favorite song that we play in this concert because it uplifts me. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. It's a song that was originally written in the 19th century. It's an English hymn, and it appeared in the 1913 English hymn carol book. I want to read for you the first verse of this lovely carol. Rejoice and be merry in songs and in mirth. O praise our Redeemer, all mortals on earth. For this is the birthday of Jesus our King, who brought us salvation. His praises we'll sing. I hope you enjoy Rejoice and Be Merry.
Our next piece is titled El Noy de la Mer, and it's a Spanish carol that stands for the child of the mother. This Spanish carol is from the Catalonia region of Spain, which is in the northeast region of the country, where Barcelona is the capital. This tune dates earliest back to the 1820s, when the tune could originally be found in an organ transcript book. And more recently, it was made famous by Andres Segovia, the famous classical guitarist. He would often finish his concerts using this piece as a solo encore. I think this is the perfect Christmas carol because it's simple and beautiful.
Merry Christmas, and thank you for joining us for the virtual MS Benefit Christmas concert this year. My name's Andy, and I play the trombone with this great group of friends here. I'm also going to be introducing our next tune for you tonight, and that is Johann Sebastian Bach's Christmas Oratorio. Now, this oratorio was really 6 different cantatas that were performed at different days throughout the Christmas season, from Christmas Day through the Feast of the Epiphany. And we're going to play the very last movement of the very last cantata for you this evening. It was originally scored, amongst other things, for 3 trumpets, and you're going to hear some fantastic trumpet playing from Jean and Doug tonight. And if you listen carefully, you'll also hear a very familiar sounding melody. Bach often borrowed melodies from other folks and used them throughout different works that he wrote. And this one is one that he also used in his St. Matthew Passion, the Passion Choral, O Sacred Head Now Wounded. Now, I used to be a music teacher, and one of my fondest memories is when one of my 6th grade students prepared a report on J.S. Bach for the class, and he shared that Bach often inscribed his music, with the initials J.J. at the beginning of it, meaning Jesu Juva, or Jesus Help Me. And upon the conclusion of his pieces, he would also often write the initials S.D.G., standing for Soli Deo Gloria, or To God Alone Be the Glory. Now, when you listen tonight, I'm sure I can speak for the members of the quintet that we often are thinking before we start to play this really technically challenging piece, JJ, Jesus Help Me. It's a lot of fun, but it's crazy hard. More importantly though, after we're done, I hope that all of our hearts and minds will be filled with this thought: Soli Deo Gloria, to God alone be the glory.
Hi, I'm Doug Albert, one of the trumpet players with QuintEssentially Brass. On December 9th, 1965, A Charlie Brown Christmas, an animated television special, premiered on CBS. This was the first TV special based on the comic strip Peanuts by Charles Schulz. The music for this show was created by San Francisco-born Vince Guaraldi. We're going to play 4 of Mr. Guaraldi's jazz adaptations: O Tannenbaum, Skating, What Child Is This, and Christmas Time Is Here. Our good friend Clem Lichty is joining us on drum set. Here's A Charlie Brown Christmas.
The air was crisp, the leaves had fallen, and all were stuffed and thankful. This means that Christmas time had finally arrived, the best time of the year. Christmas could be heard in the distance as families with their hot cocoa in hand head out into the chill to find their perfect tree. Christmas time was here. All were happy, everyone except Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown decided something was wrong because he didn't understand Christmas. So he decided to get some help from his friend Lucy. Lucy declared, "You need to get involved with a real Christmas project. How would you like to be director of our Christmas play?" Charlie Brown didn't know anything about directing a Christmas play, but he didn't want to let anyone down either. And he decided that maybe directing a Christmas play wasn't such a bad idea.
In the auditorium, all the kids danced around. "Let's rehearse," Charlie Brown yelled, but everybody kept dancing. "Good grief," said Charlie Brown. Something wasn't right. They need the proper Christmas mood. "We need to get a Christmas tree," he announced. Lucy agreed. "A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it, Charlie Brown. You get the tree." So we went out to get a tree. Charlie spotted a small, scraggly, sparse little tree. "This one here seems to need a good home, and it would be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me."
Charlie Brown returned to the auditorium and placed a sparse tree on the piano. One of the kids said, "Charlie Brown, you were supposed to get a good tree." Charlie Brown sighed. "Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Is there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?" "Sure," said Linus. "I can tell you what Christmas is all about. Lights, please."
Charlie Brown took off with his little tree and smiled. Linus is right. I won't let commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take that tree home and decorate it. And I'll show them it really will work in our play. But when Charlie Brown tried to hang a bright red ornament on the tree, the tiny tree bent under the weight.
I killed it, Charlie Brown cried. Everything I touch is ruined. And Charlie Brown walked away with his head hanging low. When Charlie Brown's friends came outside, they decided to help. I never thought it was such a bad little tree, Linus said as he wrapped his blanket around the base of the tree. It just needs a little love. Then the kids took the lights and ornaments off Snoopy's doghouse and began to decorate it. What a beautiful sight. When Charlie Brown came back, he barely recognized it. Charlie Brown then realized that this is what Christmas time is all about as his friends all shouted,
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
In 1999, Kris and I were playing with the Lancaster Brass Quintet. We wanted to create a concert that could make a difference and perhaps help people. Our bass trombonist at the time was Jerry Heilner, and his wife, Karen, had contracted MS, so we chose multiple sclerosis to be the beneficiary of our annual benefit concert. Here we are 22 years later, and we're blessed and in gratitude for the generosity of our audience by helping us to raise thousands of dollars for the cause. If you're able and you'd like to help by donating to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, here's what you do.
At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a website, www. You want to write that down because that happens to be the website for QuintEssentially Brass's, it's called a do-it-yourself fundraiser. So you'll go to that page and you'll be able to make your donation right from there. Also on that page, if you're not comfortable doing a transaction online, you can write a check and you can put QuintEssentially Brass fundraiser, put that in the memo line and send your check off to the address that you'll find at that site. So it's really easy to do, and as Doug said, you folks have been so generous. Over the past 22 years, we've raised over $40,000 to benefit people with MS and MSB research. So thanks again for making such a big difference. Back to our program.
Welcome to First Reformed Church, United Church of Christ in historic downtown Lancaster. My name's Larry Hershey. I'm the organist choir master, and I'd like to play an organ piece today based on a 17th century French tune, Bring a Torch, Jeanette, Isabella. The tradition has it as each year on Christmas Eve, the children of Provence will get together and dress up as shepherds and milkmaids, and they will dance around the town with candles and torches, and they will sing this carol as they make their way to the Christmas midnight mass. The composer is Keith Chapman. He was the Grand Court organist of the Wanamaker organ in downtown Philadelphia, currently at the Macy's department store. He was there for 23 years. The title can be misleading sometimes. Many people want to know, Bring a Torch to Jeanette, Isabella. Actually, Jeanette and Isabella are two different girls with a comma in between. And it reads, Bring a torch and quickly run. Christ is born, good folk of the village. Christ is born and Mary's calling. Ah, ah, beautiful is the mother. Ah, ah, beautiful is her child. So I'd like to play that, and it will start out with a quick flourish, and you will hear the tune in the trumpet stop. Later, you will hear it in the pedal, and finally in a canon where the right hand starts, and then the pedal comes, and it all ends together. Enjoy.
Each year, one of the highlights for us in creating this benefit concert is the joy we get from playing with our good friend Larry Hershey. We're grateful for his warm heart, his welcoming personality, and as you heard on that last piece, his amazing musicianship. So we couldn't pass up the opportunity to play with him. Tonight, we'd like to join him and play for you a fantasy on old carols by the English composer Gustav Holst entitled Christmas Day. I believe there are 4 carols in this piece. See if you can pick them out, or if you hear any more in this beautiful collage arranged for brass and organ by Gustav Holst.
Hi everybody, Jonathan Groff here. I hope that you're enjoying this evening's program. I am a Lancaster County native, and I am also a former trumpet player. I don't know actually if I would call myself a trumpet player because I was never very good at playing the trumpet, but I did spend several years in elementary and middle school playing the trumpet with QuintEssentially Brass's trumpeter Gene Clark. And I'm here tonight to introduce the next song because it is from the Disney film Frozen, and I voiced the character of Kristoff in Frozen. The next song you'll hear tonight is Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
I'd like to tell you about our next piece entitled Patapan. Patapan is a French Christmas carol that was published in 1720. Its original title was Willie, Take Your Little Drum. The carol revolves around the birth of Jesus Christ and is told from the perspective of the shepherds, playing simple instruments, flutes, and drums. The sound that gives the carol its name, Patapan, is meant to mimic the sound of the drum, and an accompanying lyric, Tooraloo, mimics the flute. You can picture the shepherds beginning in a pensive state as they stand by and gaze at the Holy Family. And by the end of the piece, these shepherds are excitedly dancing and celebrating the birth of Jesus. Enjoy Patapan.
What if I told you that one of the most popular Christmas songs was written not with Christmas in mind and written in the middle of July? Well, our next song is written by Leroy Anderson, and it's his famous Sleigh Ride. I want to read what Leroy Anderson wrote about Sleigh Ride. He says, "I began Sleigh Ride in the summer of 1946 in a cottage in Woodbury, Connecticut, where my wife and I were spending the summer with our 18-month-old daughter. The original version began with what later became the middle section. I recall working on it in the middle of a heat wave, so there's no basis for the music except the title itself. That same summer, I also worked on Fiddle Faddle and Serenata. After moving to Brooklyn, New York in the fall, I finished Fiddle Faddle on January 1st, 1947, and Serenata on February 12, 1947, in addition to making arrangements for the Boston Pops concert in the spring. I had felt that the original theme of Sleigh Ride was not strong enough to start the number, but would make a good middle section. I firmly worked out a satisfactory main theme, introduction, and coda, and finished the orchestra score on February 10, 1948. Sleigh Ride was first performed on May 4th in Symphony Hall, Boston, as an extra at a Pops concert conducted by Arthur Fiedler. Lyrics by Mitchell Parish were added in 1950. Some 60 years after Leroy Anderson created Sleigh Ride, the composition is still ranked as one of the 10 most popular pieces of Christmas music worldwide. This is in spite of the fact that the word Christmas is never mentioned in the lyrics, which Mitchell Parish wrote several years after Anderson finished the composition. The original instrumental version of Leroy Anderson Sleigh Ride wrote and scored for orchestra without lyrics is the most performed and most popular of all the versions that have been written. We're about to set a new popular version with our rendition of Sleigh Ride. Listen very carefully for the whip and the horse whinny at the end. Enjoy Sleigh Ride.
Before we play Silent Night, our traditional closing piece for all 22 years of this concert, I'd like to offer a few thank yous. First, to First Reformed UCC Church for allowing us to go in and film this concert in your beautiful sanctuary. Thank you so much. To First Reformed's Director of Music, Mr. Larry Hershey, for not only your musician skills, but also helping us to coordinate things with the church. Our percussionist and dear friend, Clem Lichty. Our videographer, Dale Lefevre of Trade Winds Technology. And Gene Clark of Clark Associates for his financial gift to produce this year's concert. Finally, you, our audience. We truly miss your smiles, your beautiful voices, and your love. Let's hope that we can be together in person next year. Here's Silent Night. Merry Christmas, everyone.